Welcome back to everyone to another Councilmen podcast. This is episode 16, and this is going to be the first time I'm doing it live in person instead of in a video call. And as you can tell, this is not Kelvin, not Ariq, or not Teguh. This is
Really?
What? Are you sure? Well, this is Kenneth Luciano. He's one of my best friends here in Purdue, and for this particular episode,
Only in Purdue?
he is from Purdue. That's how I know him. But he's one of my best friends throughout. And the reason why this is kind of different format as usual, I hope the audio is good enough in this one for today. But Kelvin, Ariq, and Teguh is unable to film this week for the schedule to be in the. This is supposed to be released 3 weeks after Avengers Endgame. So yeah, we cannot record then, so we decided to record now in particular. So I'm doing it with Kenneth, and he is a big Marvel fan as much as I do, and sticking with the trend of MCU Month.
Goose the cat.
Yeah, but that's an awesome shirt. If you're watching on video, Kenneth's wearing a Goose the Cat shirt. And this is Marvel Month, so we're still sticking with the Marvel Cinematic Universe theme.
Of course.
As you can tell from the title, this is going to be Top 10 Marvel Cinematic Universe Heroes. So it will be it can be controversial. I don't know. I feel like the list will be interesting.
I got my list right here.
All of the lists so far that we've done in our episode, either top 10 MCU movies or top 10 action films or top 10 most anticipated films, it's always controversial. But I've never done it with him, so I don't know how much, if it's either going to be controversial or it's going to be very generic. So I really don't know. And our top 10 episode will get the most views and listens, so I'm really interested to see how this one goes.
All right.
But before we get started, once again, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a review in the podcast feed in Apple. If you're listening on Spotify, I'm not sure if you can leave a review, but if you can, go ahead.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think so? Okay, so if you're in Spotify, just subscribe to it. Also, this podcast is also available in Podbean, Anchor, Castbox, even on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube on a video right now, all kinds of podcast listening platform is all available. So go check it out, subscribe, leave a review wherever. That will really help out a lot. Share it as well with your friends. And yeah,
right.
So once again, this is we can get to it, but this is 3 weeks after Endgame. We've seen it 3 times, Endgame, each of them. And maybe after seeing Endgame 3 times, it will affect our list in top 10. We will see. But let's just get to it. Kenneth, are you ready?
Yep.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so you know what? I will start it out first. Oh, but before we start, I should probably address the rules just in case.
All right.
So, as soon as we set out our topics, we create a top 10 list for each our personal individual top 10 list, basically. And then after that, we meet together, and then we discuss the top 10 list. And how it goes is, I do my bottom 3, he do his next 3. He do his bottom 3.
Yeah.
I do my next 3. He does his next 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2, and we trade one apiece. And as soon as we figure out all the top 10, we try to compile it to the cumulative Councilmen top 10 list. Boom. And yeah, so you understand the rules, right? And the punting system I explained beforehand.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I'll just go first with my number 10.
Okay, this is interesting.
And this is honestly the hardest one for me, number 10.
Number 10 is the hardest one.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm leaving out all the other one that it's not going to be in the list. So number 10 is the toughest one for me personally to either decide. And literally before this episode, before I press record, I had a different number 10. But I changed it in the last minute after a ballsy decision.
All right.
And my number 10 is Spider-Man.
Ooh. It's a pun.
There's a punt?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so now we go to your number 10 then.
My number 10 is Black Widow.
Massive punt.
Massive fun.
That's a punt. That's
All right.
a punt for me.
All right. At least it's still on the list.
Mhm. Okay. So all right then. My number 9 is Black Panther.
Actually, my Black Panther in my list is on number 8.
Okay, then we can talk about it. So
All right.
Black Panther number 9 for me is I really like the character a lot. And since we're talking about heroes, I quantify how much have they done for the MCU and the universe, how they have impacted. And Black Panther is very new, so he's probably not higher up, even though some of the stuff he's done is like noble. He's a king. He's done lots of good stuff. But he's only been in what? 3 films? Civil War, Black Panther. Well, 4 films: Civil War, Black Panther, Infinity War, and Endgame.
Yeah.
And in Endgame, he doesn't have a big role. He did help out in the final fight. By the way, there will be Endgame spoilers.
You're too late.
Yeah. What's it called? So yeah, in Endgame, he had in the final fight didn't have a big role. Infinity War, he had a big role. Black Panther had a big role. Civil War, he had a decent role, but I didn't see him. Aside from the very last thing when he saved Zemo, he wasn't very heroic in that film.
Yeah, he tried to kill Bucky.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of like, since I'm putting the scale of like how much of a hero are you in terms of like for the larger universe and either personally and helping people around you, Civil War wasn't the best for him in terms of hero. Although the film Black Panther and Infinity War, he did a great job for a hero. And yeah, I'll just stop at that right now, which is why that's my number 8. You have it at I mean my number 9. You have it at number 8.
Yeah, I have it at number 8. Well, my reasoning is basically the same here. He's new.
Yeah.
I agree. In Civil War, he didn't do anything heroic except saving Zemo, I guess. If you call that heroic.
Yeah, I mean that's noble heroic work. You gotta well, it's not saving Zemo. He want to make sure he got the right justice by not, because Zemo want to kill himself.
Yeah.
So he's trying to stop that from happening. So that's
so basically in all of Civil War, he just tried to kill Bucky. That's all.
Exactly.
So it's not that heroic.
Killed by vengeance.
Yeah, Black Panther, he's heroic, but like to save Wakanda, Sun Country, as the other Avenger has been like saving the whole world and everything.
Yeah.
So,
well, I would not that you're wrong, but like in the context of Black Panther, Killmonger wanted to use the weapons of Wakanda and spread it around the world as a arsenal kind of thing. So it's sort of like he's sort of saving it for the big picture, for the bigger world also, by preventing that happening.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And yeah, he got a big role in Infinity War as the ground zero for Thanos.
Oh yeah.
And in Endgame,
leading the army.
Not really. He just came in last second.
I mean, I'm leading the army in Infinity War. I mean.
Yeah, leading the army.
Yep.
Keep saying that since I don't know when, since last year, I guess.
But yeah, so yeah, you have it slightly higher than me.
Yeah, it's slightly higher.
Yeah, and the reason why it might be, people might say number 9 is quite low, but once again, the reasoning is because he's not in that much film yet, and despite his presence and his heroism and his leadership, everyone else in my list, I feel like, have done more to like receive, like, if there was like an award for how much heroism you've done, I feel like the others would get it before Black Panther.
I think the other would get more points.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I agree.
But yeah, as a character, he's very noble. He saved. He got justice for Zemo. He saved not only Wakanda but the people around too. And Infinity War and the fighting against Thanos, he did some great stuff. But I would probably say one of his biggest like heroic work is at the end of Black Panther, when he decided to in San Francisco, is it San Francisco? I believe it is the one that he decided to reestablish the Wakandan cultural site or whatever.
Center?
Yeah, the cultural center.
Cultural center. All right.
To like introduce African Americans to like higher education and stuff like that. That is like not the kind of like fighting hero you might think from a comic book, but that is like real life hero kind of thing.
Yep. And
also announcing Wakanda to the world. That's like a heroic thing, even though Okoye probably ain't happy because there's no Olympics and Starbucks.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what make a hero.
All right.
You have anything else to add?
Nope.
Okay.
Not really. So on to my number 9.
Yeah, your number 9.
I think this might be a pun for you.
Oh,
but my number 9.
Let's see.
My number 9 is Wanda.
Yeah, that's a pun.
Correct.
Okay. So my number 8 is Clint Barton himself, Hawkeye. that a pun?
It's not on my list.
It's not on your list.
I'm sorry, but
Oh, okay.
it was a close choice between Clint and Black Widow.
Okay.
Those two are between like the 10s or the 11s. So.
Oh, for real? Wow.
Yeah.
I want to hear more. Why? Like.
Okay. So the last position I have was the 10th position,
Uh-huh.
and that was either between Black Widow or Hawkeye.
Okay.
Like they're basically like they're almost equal for me.
Okay.
Because they're both willing to sacrifice in Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Already, you guys got that. So they're both willing to sacrifice, but in the end, Black Widow did did the soul for soul.
So you only quantify. I mean, like Hawkeye did so much more though. He's been in the
I know,
since
but the thing
4.
is, why I choose Black Widow is because she didn't give up. Right? She kept the Avengers HQ going on while,
okay. Yeah,
while
yeah,
Hawkeye goes around, I don't know, slaughtering mafia and stuff. And
I mean, he's bringing justice. He's bringing justice.
But he gave up. He gave up hope.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Then
I don't think that's like the justice that they won by killing everybody in the mafia.
I get it. I agree with you in that part. But what you have been arguing so far is only Endgame stuff. Think about everything that he's done before that. Okay, in the first Avengers movie, he's not the biggest hero because he's under control most of the time, but he did in the fight and he helped out.
All right, but on my list, I didn't use the heroic quantification like you did.
All right.
It's also like the heroic stuff and my personal choice. So.
Oh, so you have like personal preference.
Yeah, it's my personal preference.
But all right, so yeah. Did I say punt on mine? No, I didn't say punt because Hawkeye.
It's your number.
Oh, we are talking about my number, right? Okay, my bad.
Your number.
I got lost. But yeah. So I wrote down. Yeah, he wasn't that big in the first Avengers, and
he only got like 11 arrows. And so.
But my biggest credit for him, even like in Civil War, he wasn't the biggest. He helped out Captain America, which is debatable who's in the right side, Captain America or Iron Man. I sided Captain America to win the right side. But also
Iron Man.
I'm Team Cap, guys. It's no secret.
I'm Team Cap.
Team Cap flirting.
Yep.
But where was I?
Civil War.
Civil War is okay. He saved Wanda, I guess, but not really that big. Like from the compound, from the HQ. But it's not really that big. But yeah, my biggest reason why he's number 8 is because of the things that he did in Endgame and the things that he did in Age of Ultron. I'll start with Endgame first because you brought up Endgame. Yeah, I agree with you. The Ronin stuff isn't so heroic. It's more like vigilanteism. But I look past that and see what how he did to help out the Avengers. Black Widow did the sacrifice with the Soul Stone, so you might count that as more heroic. But throughout the whole film, he did several stuff too. He saved the Gauntlet from the Outriders and from the other Nebula, even though Nebula killed Nebula.
Yep.
But yeah, the reason why, if you compare my argument with Black Panther and Hawkeye, you might say that Albert has more argument for Black Panther why he's more heroic, but Hawkeye has been in the game longer, and in Age of Ultron in particular, which I haven't even touched. He's one of the biggest stars in Age of Ultron to me, because first he saved the team after their Wanda mind magic by bringing them to his farmhouse,
all right,
which is like sort of like a noble leadership move.
Okay.
And the biggest heroic work from him throughout the whole film is when he did the pep talk to Wanda. That is a father figure kind of move, like a big brother kind of move. Like I don't have the exact quote right here, but it's like if
I have a bow.
Yeah, that one. We're in an island. We're in a float. The city is floating. The thing's flying. We're fighting an army of robots. I have a bow and arrow. Nothing makes sense. And it's like, if you're willing to fight, if you leave that door, you're an Avenger. But if not, then you can get your brother to take me. I'm not doing the quote justice. I forget the exact quote, but my point is that moment is like a very heroic move kind of thing. Plus with the longevity that he has had in the MCU, So yeah, I think that's basically why he's my number 8 in this list. But I can understand why you don't put it in the list though. Although I'm kind of surprised.
All right, okay. It was kind of close call between him and Black Widow.
All right. So I wonder what I don't have in my list that you have. So
all right.
Okay, so you're number 8 now.
I told you my number 8 is Black Panther.
Oh, okay. Did you say you're number 9?
Yeah, Wanda.
All right. So
it's a pun for you, so.
So okay. So now
go to 765.
Yeah, let's go to 7 first. Let's go to your number 7.
My number 7? All right. So my number 7 is Loki.
Whoa! I do not have him in the list at all.
Really?
I don't see him as a hero. I don't see him as a hero. I mean, like he did some good stuff, but for the majority he's a villain, and he's never pure of heart.
I know. That's why your list is more like a heroic act. My list is more like personal choice.
Okay.
Personal preference. So the thing that made me like Loki really much is after Infinity War, when he stand up to Thanos, even though he had no chance at all. Yeah, that's like the biggest moment for me for Loki.
I mean, he's kind of dumb to try to fight Thanos, knowing he got Infinity Stones. Just what he was trying to do is stab him.
Well, I mean, like he saved Thor from Thanos from the Power Stone.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
a noble
biggest
move, but
that's the biggest turn for me, because he was this selfless little brat that always going around wanting to conquer everything, wanting everybody to kneel down to him, and he sacrificed the one thing that he tries to collect, the Tesseract. And he gave that up.
Yeah.
And he made a huge turn after Ragnarok.
Yeah, keep talking, because you're not convincing me why he should be on the list. Okay,
I told you it's personal preference.
Okay, our topic is MCU Heroes. If he's your number 10, I would make sense. You put him at number 7.
Yeah, because I like him as a character.
Over Hawkeye, over Wanda.
I told you, personal preference.
But that doesn't make sense in terms of heroes. Our topic is heroes. Like if top 10 MCU characters, I would understand.
Look, it's I see him as.
Then give me the cause why he would qualify himself as a hero. Because I have you're only giving one part of Endgame, and it's only there like 5 minutes.
That I need to make me see him as a hero.
I can't. Oh my god, really?
I told you it's my personal choice. You told me I can do it anywhere else.
Yeah, I know. I did say that, but I wasn't sort of. But oh god. Well, I'm just gonna go against it once again. Most heroic thing that is probably an Infinity War, like you said. Okay, sure, true. But once again, I'm unhappy because the topic is heroes, and Thor, pure villain. Avengers, pure villain. Thor: The Dark World, he helped out Thor. He have his own intentions, villainous. Thor: Ragnarok, he helped out Thor. He tried to backstab him, still sort of. So still villainous. And boom, what else?
I don't think he's villainous in Ragnarok. He's just mischievous.
I mean,
he's got a mischief. So what can you do?
He tried to trick Thor.
You told Thor, the god of thunder, can you summon fire? It's the god of thunder.
Okay. Wow, I'm just surprised it's that high.
Well, I see him as a hero at that point.
Okay, I respect that. I'm just surprised it's that high. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. So my number 7. I don't know. I don't know if you will be surprised or not. But my number 7 is Gamora.
Yeah, that's not on my list. I'm just gonna say it right now. None of the Guardians is in my list.
Really?
Yes, none of them.
Okay, I want to hear that first. Why is none of the Guardians in your list?
All right, so well, I told you I made this list on my personal preference. So Guardians, Drax, mostly just a hot-blooded, strong guy. Star-Lord, an idiot, from half human idiot, I guess.
Yeah.
Which 100% of us and 50% of him.
Okay. Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon. I guess he kind of like I kind of like him more in Endgame than the other movie because he's all the very involved too that made them in all those trouble.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Not even in Infinity War.
Not really. In Infinity War, he just trying to run from Thanos. He followed Thor just to run from Thanos.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, Groot. All right. In Infinity War, Groot saved Thor, I guess, in a way. And in Volume 1, he saved the Guardian.
Yeah, I feel like
without him, there wouldn't be the Guardians anymore.
Groot's biggest thing is only in the first Guardian film. In Guardians 2, he didn't really do anything heroic.
He's just a...
He's a kid. Yeah, he's a kid.
And in Infinity War, he's a teenager.
Yeah.
So, like, after that, he didn't really do much.
Mm-hmm.
But he was, like, in my top 15 list.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Groot was.
Okay, well, who would you put highest in your Guardians list?
Highest in my Guardian list?
Yeah, out of the Guardians.
You're talking the current Guardian? So including Mantis, Nebula.
Including Mantis, Nebula, Gamora as well.
Gamora as well. I think I put my highest to... I'm guessing Nebula.
Nebula?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I had Gamora quite high in my list because if I were to choose one Cosmic Guardian, in terms of heroism, once again, because that's how I rank this, it's Gamora. You might say like, oh, Star-Lord's the captain, oh, Nebula's the one who saved in the end game, but if you look back, Gamora and Guardians of the Galaxy
I see a pattern.
What?
With myself. I like characters that turn from bad to good. As like Loki and Nebula.
Yeah.
Because Nebula is one of my highest Guardian. I think I like characters that turn from bad to good.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, like I was considering. Okay, before I get to Gamora, the Guardians that I was only considering close to this list.
It was Groot.
No, it was Rocket, Nebula, and Gamora. Drax is the first one I eliminate. Drax and Mantis are the first one I eliminate. Star-Lord, he's done stuff, but it's not enough.
He did stuff also.
It's not enough. And Groot also, once again, I only felt his presence in the first Guardians film. Hopefully, no one get offended with this. And even in Infinity War, he did the cut off his arm, but not enough.
He'll grow back.
Not enough. Yeah. So the close one was Nebula, Rocket, and Gamora, and then Rocket have a leading edge a bit over Nebula because Rocket has done more once again as a hero. Nebula was pure villains in the first one.
Oh yeah.
She sort of redeemed herself in the second one, but not too much.
Yeah, not too much, like in the last bit.
And in Infinity War, she didn't have a big arc as well. She only joined the final fight and tried to inform the Guardians. That's it. Yeah. While in Endgame, she had got a big role, but Gamora, she got a big role in all the Guardians film, Infinity War, and some parts in Endgame also. And if you go to the Guardians, I feel like not only in terms of heart and who's the most heroic, who's the most like leadership capabilities, it's Gamora and it's not Star-Lord, in my opinion. Because like
agree.
Yeah, because like the first one, whose idea was it to bring the orb to the Nova Corps? It's Gamora's.
I forgot.
I believe it's Gamora. Star-Lord and Rocket and
what if Kelvin
they just want the points, which is why they're getting it to Collector. While Gamora's like, no, it's not safe, and then eventually Gamora brought them to the Collector too because it's her idea because they could get lots of points. But Gamora is the first one to like insist to get it back to Nova Corp as soon as they found out what it is. So that's like a kind of.
But then we found out it's still not safe.
Well, it is the safest hands at that point. So that's a heroic move. In Guardians of the Galaxy 2, she also helped out, helping like defeating Ego. She was the one who killed the tentacle monster, I believe, even though Drax claimed him to be the one who killed it. She got a big role as well in Guardians 2. And in Endgame, she was even a hero in Endgame, even though she initially was a bad guy, but she turned and it shows in Endgame because she's always on the right mindset. She's always against Thanos. It's just how soon it is and how fast she realized it. So, but yeah, the biggest turn for her as a hero is Infinity War. Because of her arc, in particular in Infinity War, her sacrifice. Well, she got killed, but
but she's willing to sacrifice herself. Like she asked Quill to shoot her before.
And yeah, she's the pure definition of hero for Guardians, in my opinion. She's probably my favorite Guardians as well. So yeah, that really Gamora is like, if I were to only choose one Guardians in this list, it will be Gamora. So there you go. That's why Gamora is my number 7.
All right.
This is already interesting so far, guys. Yep. So you're number 6 now.
6. It's gonna be number 6, the Winter Soldier himself.
Jesus Christ, really?
Oh, wow, why?
Wow, you're really following a trend of bad guys turning good.
Oh yeah. I just realized that again.
Wow, okay, so you what's it called? You respect redemption. That's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so. I didn't realize it myself.
Explain.
But explain.
I'm intrigued.
Bucky, I don't really have a lot of explanation. Like most of him turning good was because of Captain America. That tried to redeem him, tried to save him. But I just liked him as a character. Like that's all my explanation for this one. Really, I couldn't cut him up from the top 10.
Wow,
I couldn't.
and that high, huh? Number 6.
Yeah. Number 6.
That's kind of shocking because like Bucky's always a good, as a Winter Soldier he's good. As Bucky, I never really had an attachment to him as a character. He's all right. He's like a big brother to Steve. But I'm even like in Civil War, I don't have that much connection to Bucky. Like maybe because he was like brainwashed at the time and like he's like disconnected with the group kind of thing. Like so I've never really had like an attachment to Bucky as a character.
So for Bucky, I didn't really have an explanation, but like my mind was like, I really like.
Explain why you like Bucky.
I don't know. I just couldn't cover him from the top 10. Like I couldn't cross him out. Like I really like. That's it. I really like character that turns good from evil. It's because you see like, I don't know. For Bucky, he didn't really do a lot of like redemption himself. More like Captain America trying to save him.
Yeah, if I'm gonna interrupt there, I feel like he does nothing good. He's never done anything heroic, in my opinion.
I can see why you would say that. I can see why you would say that. But still, like,
except for the first Captain America film. That's probably it.
And he's not even the Winter Soldier yet at that point.
Yeah. But it's still the same person, but yeah.
Yeah, same person.
Yeah. Okay, so wow, number 6, huh?
Yeah, number 6. What's your number 6?
Well, shit. Now, with that out of the way, I know that there is going to be 3 of the person in my list that's not going to be in yours.
Okay.
So I'm concerned if this guy is going to be in it or not. But the Hulk. Don't tell me it's not in your list.
I'm sorry, it's not.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, it's not on my list.
Oh my God.
I don't know. As a child, I got creeped out by the Hulk, so probably. I know.
If you're listening on audio, tell in the reviews what you think of this list, because I want to know. Because I'm probably more like the more straight line. I'm more like
heroic.
If you Google top 10 MCU heroes, my list will probably be more similar instead of his list. I feel like.
Yeah.
So if you're on audio, tell me in the review what you think of this list. If you're on video, tell me in the comment section what you think, because I really want to.
Because I know how you points the hero. You're like, okay, I give this guy 10 points, this guy 9 points. So now I'm gonna.
That's how I rank it.
Yeah, that's how you rank it. I rank it like, okay, I like this guy more than I like this guy.
Wow.
So that's how I rank.
I guess we should have had a more clear description of how to rank this.
Yeah, you say however I like it, so I'm like, all right. Okay,
well,
here it goes.
Well, the Hulk. My argument is, he's been a hero since the very beginning, since Phase 1. Incredible Hulk. He saved Harlem from Abomination. He destroyed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he destroyed a lot of stuff.
But without defeating Abomination, it will have lead to more destruction. In Avengers, he smashed a lot of stuff. And he got one of the best moments. Not only just that's my secret cap. I'm always angry. Boom, but also the puny god moment.
Oh yeah, I love
puny god.
I like Hulk, but he's too like he's not that controllable. That's like
Exactly, which is why I qualify Hulk and Banner together, because Banner has done a lot of good stuff too. Not only, well, the first Avengers film, even he tracked down the Tesseract. He's working with that. In Age of Ultron, he sort of make Ultron and sort of make Vision too. So that's good. And then Ragnarok, he did lots of good stuff as well.
And a lot of bad stuff as well.
Infinity War, he helped out, not in Hulk mode.
He helped out as like
he killed Call Obsidian.
Like A for effort, Bruce, but went into Hulk.
Yeah, and then like in Endgame though, that's probably his biggest role, because he helped out not only with the time travel, he managed to do the Professor Hulk, he managed to do the snap. So that's a big part. So yeah, which is why even though
he managed to push time through length, not length through time.
At first, yeah. But yeah, that's why he's only my number 6, because despite his longevity, his heroic work as Hulk is good, but like you said, he also did lots of destruction, especially in Age of Ultron when Wanda did the mind trick. That's a huge destruction. But the Banner part of it also helps out a lot. But it's not enough for me to crack my top 5. But yeah, which is why Hulk is number 6.
This is gonna be interesting. The rest of the list,
like okay, how close is Hulk making to your top 10? I wonder.
It's in the top 15.
Top 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, who's in my top 15 now? Hawkeye, Hulk, and
I don't know. Gamora. I don't know. Nebula.
Nebula. Yeah.
All right. So I guess So that is okay. So you're number 5 now, or you're number 6? Have you gotten your number 6?
Yeah, my number 6 is Bucky.
Okay, so you're number 5 now.
My number 5 is the Prince of Asgard, the God of Thunder, Thor.
Okay.
How about you?
I guess it's a punt.
It's a punt.
Yeah, I guess it's a punt. So my number 5 is one of my personal favorite characters in the MCU and in the comics.
All right.
And she is
Wanda.
She's the MVP in my opinion of Infinity War. She saved the crew. She saved the team in Age of Ultron. And she had one of the best moments in Endgame, and you just spoiled it. It is Wanda Maximoff.
Yes, Wanda.
And what was Wanda in your list? At least she's in your list.
That's 9.
I'm good. I'm happy with that. At least
all right.
And yeah, why she's my number 5 once again. Like I said, Age of Ultron. She was bad at first.
Was bad,
but she turned good, and she did
my pattern good.
And she did a lot of good heroic stuff. Not only she fights off the robots very easily with her.
I would agree she's the MVP in Endgame and also Infinity War, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
But the thing is, she's sort of new to the MCU, so that's why I'm not really familiar with her.
Yeah.
That's why I put her like on the bottom of my list.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. I was also considering that, because like, she's only been in 4 films: Age of Ultron, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. And she didn't have a big role in Civil War. She helped out the team in the beginning. She caused casualties. She helped out in the fight, which since I'm doing it since like Ranking of Heroism, the airport fight wasn't really helping out much.
It wasn't really helping out anybody.
Yeah, exactly. And she didn't have much part in Civil War. But Civil War is a very personal film.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Age of Ultron, she's the one who killed Ultron. And when she had the breakdown, when she found out Pietro got killed, she just like, there's a moment where she's like crying, and then like vanished all the robots. That's a big part for her. But yeah, Infinity War, she sacrificed Vision, the true one that she loves, and at the same time managed to hold down Thanos with the other arm. I feel like she's so underrated in that moment. Because people's like thinking about Thor and the hammer and managed to hit him, but being in an emotional state where you have to kill your loved one while fighting off one of the Stones, being with Infinity Stones, holding that is like powerful shit. And even Okoye respect like, where has she been this whole time? When she does it,
Yeah,
And
I agree, but personal choices.
God damn it.
Number 9.
Yeah, and once again, I have personal choices too, but because one is my favorite. And
I think all of this is my personal choice.
and once again, and I'm not done yet. And in Endgame, her moment with Thanos is also one of my favorite. You took everything away from me. I don't even know you. You will, and then she just starts floating, and it's like crushing him. And he would have died. He would have died unless he did the bang fire. That's a horrible impression of Thanos. But yeah, Wanda in the last 2 films, and arguably the 2 most important films for the universe of MCU, she has been a big part of the MVP. Even more than the Hulk, even more than Gamora and Hawkeye and Black Panther and Spider-Man for me. So that is why it's number 5.
All right.
Okay. So now we go to our final 4.
Lots of vice.
I'll go with my number 4 first then.
All right.
And it was your number 5. So it's Thor. Okay, so
right. I mean, it's not really that far in the ranking, so I guess like we're in the same page here.
So yeah, Thor is number 4 because he's a Trinity. He's the big three.
I mean, it's Thor.
Mm-hmm. He's the god of thunder, not the god of hammers. And
really, I thought it was the god of hammers.
He's the god of thunder, and if we're counting longevity, he's been since the very beginning. Once again, since Thor, he's in Avengers. The Dark World, Age of Ultron, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, Endgame. In all of the films he is in, he's been involved in like some kind of world-ending event, except for maybe the first Thor. But that's
more like a city-ending event.
But he did heroic stuff in the first Thor, trying to save his brother, of course, saving his father. Also, he's being noble, he's learning himself right. In the Dark World, even though it's let's just admit it's not a very good film, but he did save them. He basically saved their realm, multiple realms, the 9 realms.
All right.
So that's a heroic stuff. And Avengers, of course, Age of Ultron, of course, he helped out. Thor Ragnarok is probably his best film, right?
Oh.
And he helped. I guess he saved Asgard because Asgard is the people, not the place.
Are you sure about that?
That's what he says. That's what he says.
I think he just make it up on the spot because he's like, you know what?
I mean, it's true. I feel like Asgard is the people and not the place. It's like home is like when people
Alright,
say
so Purdue is the people and not the place.
No, Asgard is not comparison to Purdue. Asgard is more like home because like you say home is not a physical place, but it's where you feel like you belong at home.
Yeah, but
so I feel like Asgard,
but your home doesn't have a rainbow bridge.
Yeah, I know, but I'm putting the analogy of home with the same analogy of Asgard.
But well, I disagree. I think Asgard is still Asgard. Place, not the people.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because when I look at New Asgard, I'm like, wait, are those Asgardian or are those like fishermen? I think
they're Asgardian, but just wearing using human clothes.
That's why when I was Asgard is the people, I don't think so.
But yeah, people say he's the MVP of Infinity War. I won't go against that, even though I still believe it's Wanda. But he did a great job, nearly killing Thanos. But he did it. But it was heroic.
And then he went to depression.
It was heroic.
And became Lebowski.
And in Endgame, he did a great job too. He did lots of heroic stuff too. But yeah, I want to hear why he's your number 5. I speak a lot already.
My number 5 is Thor.
I know. I want to hear why it's number 5 and not like higher or lower.
You want the honest answer?
Don't say it. Aside from his personal preference.
I need to make space for number 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, so your number 1, 2, 3, and 4 is higher because you just like them better.
Yeah. So personal preferences again. Here in the play, a lot of bias going around. I hope the comment doesn't kill me. All right.
I'm trying to wonder what your top 4 are.
All right.
I know one of them that I already pumped since you pumped in the very beginning. So. All right.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So your number 4 is Thor.
Yeah.
My number 4. I don't know if it's on here.
Say it.
Strange.
Yeah, that was okay. That was initially in my list. That was my previous number 10, and then I replaced it with Spider-Man. And I will give the argument why it's out, but I want to hear you out. I didn't know you like Doctor Strange that much.
I really love Doctor
I
Strange
didn't know that.
as a hero and as
Okay.
a character.
Okay.
I would say he was the one who started Endgame. You can say that. You can say that he was the one who started Endgame.
That's true.
That's
When he sacrificed the
Before
time
I saw it, the Doctor Strange movie, I saw the animated, the comic book. I really love like the mystic art.
I really didn't know that.
I really love like all those like mystic weapons.
Okay.
That's why I was arguing with you about the weapons and
Oh yeah.
car, and that's why he was so high up in my list. The Sorcerer Supreme.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it just like, did you like Doctor Strange because of the character, or is it because of the magic?
Both. I'll say.
Because like I know some people who really don't like his character because he's like an arrogant prick, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, he's more like. I mean, when he was a doctor, he was arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got the injury, the surgery, he became wiser. You know, so.
Yeah.
But I see my pattern against like redemption. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. I mean, technically, all heroes go through redemption. Even like Thor goes through redemption.
Captain America goes through redemption. I think he's just good from the beginning. He's good from the beginning.
Sort of,
Yeah.
but he got some dark times too. But yeah, lots of heroes go through redemption as well. But yeah, Doctor Strange. I'll tell you why he's not on my list. And he was initially number 10.
Oh.
And I was thinking like he did lots of good stuff. He saved the world from the Dark Dimension, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's in Doctor Strange. He did great stuff in Infinity War. And yeah, once again, he only been in 3 films, right?
Wow. Yeah, 3.
And well, 4 where Ragnarok, but he didn't do much in Ragnarok.
He just
He made Loki fall for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a good scene. That's
a good scene.
And yeah,
I've been falling for 30 minutes.
But yeah, and his Infinity War is probably one of his biggest films. And like you said, he started Endgame, which is like a huge boost to me considering him to be in the list. And he was, for the longest time, he was number 10. Until the last second, which I'm thinking like, you know what? Huh?
I think you put Spider-Man on your number 10, right?
I did, yeah. Okay. And like the reason why I did that is because the measure of a hero is like how much you are willing to sacrifice yourself to save for the better good. And when I look back at Doctor Strange, he's only doing that at the end of Infinity War and in Endgame. Because in Infinity War, he's not willing to sacrifice people even for the stone.
He did say in Infinity War, if we're within you, the kid, or the stone, I will not hesitate to let both of you go. Yeah,
and it's fair because he believes the stone have a greater purpose in terms of saving the world until he realized that it's wrong, and which is why he's decided to give it. And even in Doctor Strange, for most of the movie, he's still kind of prickish. And even when he's saving the Dark Dimension, it's not really like. It's more like he has to than he's like willing to. I guess, if that makes any sense.
He has to, because if not, everybody just.
Yeah. So yeah, it was between that and Spider-Man, and I decided to not only like I'm going with your route, a little bit of personal preference, because I really like Spider-Man, but I'm comparing like the measure of a hero, I guess, and that's why Doctor Strange was slightly out for me.
All right, so me and you are on the same page with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. So for you, they're both like neck to neck, right? For me, it's the same.
But it's higher up. Is your number 3?
It is my number 3. There you go, Spider-Man.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
All right. So I know this is top 10 MCU heroes, but Spider-Man. I've seen Spider-Man since I was a little kid, since Tobey Maguire.
By the way, speak up a little bit in case.
Right. So I love Spider-Man since the Tobey Maguire era. That's why he's like so ingrained in my brain. Like I couldn't cross him out. I just like, no, he gotta be like on the top 5.
Yeah.
Cause like you got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. Spider-Man has been like part of my life for a long time. Not even just MCU, but also outside MCU, animated, comic book, like all this stuff. So this is more not more of the heroic action, but more of personal. I mean, my list is
How much you like the
built
character? Yeah.
is built on personal preference. Your list is built on
Mostly,
heroic action,
mostly
mostly
action.
heroic, just a little bit of personal. My
Yeah.
list is 95% personal preference.
Okay. Yeah. If I were to do the same route as you, Spider-Man will be much higher up for me because.
Ooh.
But actually, maybe not because like Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel comic character. I love him in the comic, especially my favorite run is the well, Amazing Spider-Man has been good, but I really like Spider-Man Blue. That's the Spider-Man Blue volume. I really like that. But yeah, in the MCU, I
We haven't
I guess
seen him that much in the MCU.
that's true, and I guess it's because I probably have higher standards for Spider-Man, and I love Homecoming, but it just doesn't have the same level to like how much I love like Winter Soldier, the film.
Okay.
And I really like I really love Spider-Man in Civil War. I really love Spider-Man in Infinity War, in Endgame, and I guess it's a testament because like I prefer him in those films than him in Homecoming. Even though I really love Homecoming as a film because it has great heart.
Right.
But yeah, it's number 10 because he's like you're going throughout the whole Spider-Man, not only just MCU.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it under MCU,
Under
and he
MCU.
hasn't been in that much film.
I know you said top 10 MCU
Yeah.
heroes, but I'm like, it's Spider-Man. Like, you can't just go MCU.
Okay, but yeah, I only quantified the MCU one, and he's done a lot. He didn't. I get once again, airport fight doesn't do any justice for in terms of heroism for me.
Yeah, the airport fight is just more like, all right, I do my thing, you do your thing. You just stay out of it.
But yeah, before Homecoming is his biggest feat of heroism, but I'm gonna go over that first. And Infinity War and Endgame, he's trying to save for the better good. So it's like a heroic feat. But he did lots of heroic stuff in Homecoming. That's one thing that I don't understand because I've heard some people criticize him like, oh, he doesn't really do lots of action, that heroic thing. He doesn't really get consequences and everything. But I argue against that because not only is trying to do the very good for saving Vulture. I mean, he doesn't want to kill Vulture.
No,
First,
he doesn't want to.
he's trying to save Vulture, but by preventing him from doing the wrong things.
True.
And he also did lots of good stuff that could get him into trouble. First of all, the Washington Monument thing, he saved his friends. That's a big part, even though he could get in trouble. And he ran away chasing the Vulture and the other bad guys from his decathlon, academic decathlon thing, which would have gotten him into trouble once again.
True.
And probably the biggest learning curve for him is also one of his biggest failures, but also his biggest act of trying to be a hero is the fairy scene.
The fairies.
Because he's trying to do what's right. He messes up because that thing he shoots out of his bag, I believe, right? Or something. Was it a gun or something?
I think it was a gun.
Yeah, and then it was his fault, so it messed up and cuts the boat in half. He's trying to save everyone. He failed to do so. He could have killed lots of people. Iron Man saved the day. And they had that big argument with Iron Man and Spider-Man, one of my favorite scenes throughout the film. It's like, if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. It's like a big learning curve for him. And I really like the character, but it's just, he just haven't done enough in terms of heroic work. Yeah. So yeah, that's why it's only my number 10, which hurts me, but yeah. But at least both of us have it.
I can see your point.
If we were, I bet going forward, Spider-Man will be higher up on my list because I can tell it's going to be a big part of the MCU, and I'm happy for that.
So what's your number 4?
Thor.
Oh, what's your number 3?
I don't know how much people will be surprised by this, but number 3 is Black Widow. Yeah, Black Widow was on your list, but lower now.
Yeah, it was number 10. So basically, it's my Spider-Man, your Black Widow.
Yeah, man. I don't. Okay, first of all, I don't know how many people would put Black Widow in their top 3, because I don't know. I don't know how many people is Black Widow is their favorite superhero. Black Widow is I like her a lot. She's
Uh-huh.
not in my top 3 favorite, but I like her a lot, especially in the MCU. And thinking back, I was even contemplating if I should put Black Widow higher up in the list, especially because she's
Really?
done a lot of good stuff. Iron Man 2, heroic work. Avengers,
Yes.
lots of heroic work there. Age of Ultron, she managed to take care of Banner, which is a huge part of it. And she,
Sounds getting real.
yeah, it's very real.
Sounds getting real.
And she's always taking care of everyone, just very motherly figure-ish also.
He tried to keep things going even in Endgame. Like,
That's a big part. She's in, she, okay, in the airport fight, if there was only one hero out of that, it's Black Widow. Because she stopped Black Panther from getting to Captain America, who was trying to do a good thing. And you might say that's a traitor kind of thing, but I saw that as a heroic move for Black Widow.
backstabber.
She's doing the right thing. She's doing the right thing. And Winter Soldier, I almost forget that
The soldier.
she play a huge role in Winter Soldier. That's probably one of my favorite films with her. She played a huge role in exposing Shield and both Hydra
helping
and
Nick Fury.
going against her moral code for that. And yeah. And where was I? Civil War, Age of Ultron, Infinity War. She had a big role regrouping the team. And Endgame, like you said, she keeps things going, and she's just
And finally,
wants to get eventual demise, but she's like she doesn't. One of my favorite scenes in Endgame is when when she threatened to smack Captain America with a peanut butter sandwich because Captain America is trying to tell her to look on the bright side. But
Oh
she's
yeah. Also, for the viewers, he's been making peanut butter sandwich every day after that scene. I have no idea how someone can eat that much peanut butter, but
okay.
yeah.
First of all, it's not every day. Second of all, I haven't had
every hour?
no.
Oh.
Second of all, I haven't been eating sandwich that I made on my own for a very long time. And I don't know why, something about that scene in Endgame when I see Natasha cut the sandwich, I'm like, I'm craving to make my own sandwich now.
Also, she cut it diagonally so that Nick Fury couldn't eat it.
Yeah, Captain Marvel reference right there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I went home a little bit, of course, here, but I went home, and after that film, and I think the next day I bought white bread, and not every day, I've been making bread often now and I cut them diagonally, and it's peanut butter and jelly or just peanut butter in general. I don't know why. It looks so appealing in that film.
It's the MCU.
I don't know why, and I haven't had sandwich in a long time, and it's peanut butter bread is good. It tastes good. Okay, we're going, of course, but like Infinity War, she played a huge role, and in Endgame, like I said, the part where like Captain America's trying to tell her to look in the bright side, the whales are in the shore and everything's cleaner, and she's like, if you're trying to tell me to look in the bright side, I'll smack you with peanut butter sandwich, because even though Captain America inside doesn't want to move on, but she's telling people to move on. Black Widow is clearly doesn't want to move on because she feels the burden, and she feels she wants to bring everyone back, even Clint, which she's been looking for.
Yeah.
And she claims the Avengers to be her family, which makes her death even more tragic. And it shows how much of a hero she is. Like, she is willing to die for the better world of the world, of people coming back, for her family. And because like Avengers is sort of like in the MCU, Avengers like the shining light of. It's basically like the ray of sunshine for the universe, because they're like the heroes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Black Widow played a huge part in that. And Endgame definitely. I think Endgame is my favorite film of hers, especially after seeing it 3 times. I'm more and more convinced.
Yeah.
Endgame, and then probably Winter Soldier, and then it's a toss-up for the rest. But Endgame, she really Scarlett Johansson really plays Black Widow well. After how many films have been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 films in. I believe it's 7 films. I might miss. But she's been great in all of those. She really played the character well.
Right.
And another reason why it's that high is because she have interacted with almost every Avengers in their own personal story. Winter Soldier with Iron Man, with Hawkeye.
Winter Soldier with
with Captain America and Winter Soldier,
Okay.
with Iron Man 2,
Iron Man 2. Yeah.
with Banner in Age of Ultron,
Uh-huh.
with Hawkeye in both the first Avenger and in Endgame.
And in Budapest.
Yeah, and then and not so much with Thor in any of them, but she's close. She's still close to Thor.
Okay, I get
But which is why I feel like if Captain America is the heart of the team, Black Widow is the soul of the Avengers. And once again, Avengers is the heroic thing. So
Is that a pun you're trying to make? She's the soul because of the soul
she's,
stone.
no, I did not intend that. I did not intend that. But she's literal. This is the literal soul of the team, and that's a huge part of why she's a hero in my eye. And she saved the bloody universe by sacrificing herself. So boom, there we go.
Right, before we move on to the top 2, I just want to ask something.
What?
I'm surprised Carol Danvers is not on
Oh.
your list.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because you've been like, you really like Brie Larson as Captain
I do.
Marvel, and you like Captain Marvel as a character.
I
but
do.
where is
Okay.
she?
Behind the scenes stuff, he doesn't know this. But behind the scenes, when because me, Kelvin, Ariq, and Teguh, we were debating when to do this topic because we really want to do this topic, but since scheduling issues, we cannot do it. We were debating it, and I insist on pushing back the topic of top 10 heroes to be done after Endgame. Kelvin insisted to do it before, and the reason why I insisted to do it after is because I said I want to see if they could redeem Captain Marvel in Endgame, and maybe it could boost her up my list. And when in consideration of making this list,
Uh-huh.
she wasn't even close to my top 10, sadly. I love Carol Danvers in the comics.
She was in my top 20.
Really? I mean, how many heroes are there? By the way, surprising fact, when we were initializing, listing out all the heroes in the MCU,
Like we were crossing out the obvious line, like a warrior tree. Nope.
yeah, when we were going through all of it, we had 40 people in the list.
Oh,
And that's not even covering all the heroes in the MCU. So props to the MCU for making such an expensive world.
does the red count as a hero in Endgame? Like the red that.
I wouldn't, but you might. It's like it's a
Maybe.
coincidence, but it's not a hero.
Is this a hero?
Goose is a hero. Goose
This
is
is
a
a
yeah, and yeah, going back to Carol, I love Carol in the comics. I like her in Captain Marvel. I like her in Endgame, but not a lot of. I guess since she's only been in 2 films, I wouldn't even qualify 2. It's more like 1.25. I think, and I know lots of people that have not been like sold on Captain Marvel. They don't like her so much.
like one of our friend Nachi, he's like, oh, I hate Captain Marvel. She's just so cocky and like she
Yeah.
thinks she could take Thanos like 1-on-1.
I mean, that's her. Once again, I keep on saying this. It's her personality. That's her personality. She's always cocky in the comics, and like to quote Amy Dolan of Collider Heroes, if Captain America got knocked down, he would get back up because that's the right thing to do. If Carol Danvers got knocked down, she would get back up because fuck you. It's like a perfect encapsulation of both their characters. Like she's a hero, but she's a hothead, and that's why I like her in the comics. So she's very flawed, but she's always done the right thing to do, and she has actually great heart. Like even in Captain Marvel, she's very flawed, but she's willing to do the right thing, like helping the Skrulls, like getting refugee, and even in Endgame, she's helping out all the different planets. So even though her personality might not be the most likable, but she have a good heart. And I hope going forward we're gonna explore that and at least humbleize her a bit, especially she got knocked out cold by Thanos using the Power Stone. We didn't see her back in fight in action right after that, and only the funeral.
She's like,
She flew up really far.
she's like, I'm gonna sit here for a bit.
She flew
You
up
guys-
really far, guys.
You guys
I bet that's the first time she actually suffered sort of like a defeat kind
like
of thing.
injury.
Yeah. So she at least I hope it humbleizes her a bit. And so
Thing that's our roommate.
oh yeah, it's fine. I mean like Carol Carol's on my list yet, but yeah. Where were we? We got off track way far.
We were in the 3.
Top 2. We're gonna go in the top 2, was it?
You wanna say your number 2 simultaneously?
Yeah, I think I know both of our top 2s. I just don't know how the order is gonna be. So my number 2 is Iron Man. Fun?
Fun.
Okay, so I know you're number 1, and I know you're number 2.
I know you're number 1.
You know, is your number 2 is it what I think it is?
My number 2 is Yondu.
What?
No, of course not. It's Captain America.
I thought you were for real, because your list so far has been like so controversial. I feel like.
No, my number 2 is Captain America.
Okay.
Of course.
So which one do you want to talk first? Iron Man or Captain America first?
Captain America.
Okay, let's talk about
Yes.
Captain America is my number 1. Easy.
Iron Man is my number 1. Easy. You know why? Because I cried a lot.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
cried
notification.
a lot. You can ask him. He was beside me. I cried like a little
In a
kid.
third
I cry more than a baby that's just been born.
I doubt that. I doubt that because the baby has been born. They really cry a lot.
You want to see that competition?
So I don't want to.
You play Angel right in front of me, and you bring a baby right.
A baby has been born is gonna cry for like 4 or 5 hours. You only cry for like 15 minutes. So
Yeah, but I'm set for my whole life.
oh god. But yeah, we're talking about Captain America. Captain America is my number 1 for obvious reasons. Like you said, he's always been a hero the whole time.
He's been a hero the whole
Since
time.
the first one, he's a guy with a good heart. That's why Stanley Tucci playing that professor chose him, because he got a good heart, not because he's.
All right, I forget you were quantifying the heroic acts.
Well, in terms of that, I prefer Captain America over Iron Man, obviously, and also considering the heroic act. And yeah, they've both been in the same amount of films, I think, and they both have been. It's really a toss-up between the two for me. I feel like they've both done the same amount of heroic work, either in their own respective films.
I think that Iron Man has gone through more progress.
Iron Man has a better arc. That's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
say in terms of progression and arc. I mean, he's literally playboy. He's a genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist that's very selfless. Is it selfless? Is that the word?
I think selfish.
Selfish.
Selfless is
The
Endgame.
opposite.
Selfish is Iron Man 1.
Yeah, it is very selfish and is in the first film. And even Captain America says it in the first Avengers film. You're not someone who's willing to do the sacrifice to play, and guess what? They did sacrifice to play.
They did sacrifice.
So I
at the
agree with-
very end.
So I agree with you that he's the one who has a better arc.
Yeah.
But having said that,
But anyways,
I don't think he's a better hero than Captain America, because he's a good leader. He's not the leader of the Avengers. And going with my argument for Black Widow, Avengers is like the embodiment of heroism and the shining light for the MCU. So Captain America is a leader, and it helps. And Captain America has done some wrong stuff, including like not telling Iron Man that he knows about his parents' death, which is not
Iron Man pays for everything. Iron Man builds the hate here.
Iron Man makes Ultron. Iron Man makes Ultron. Iron Man imprison a lot of these superheroes in a way, even though he's trying to do the right thing.
Captain America tried to recruit Ant-Man.
Captain America have a better ass. That's the definition of a hero, folks.
Tom Holland has a much better ass.
Let's not talk about ass, but yeah. Once again, it's a toss-up for me. But the fact that Captain America is the leader of the Avengers helps out a lot. The fact that in Avengers he plays a big role, Age of Ultron plays a big role, Infinity War and Endgame, of course. All the greatest moments in Endgame comes from him.
Except I just don't like him in Civil War.
Why not?
Because I'm Team Iron Man now.
Oh shit.
And that's Captain America. So yeah, that's why.
But yeah, like okay, in Captain America the Winter Soldier, and actually in all the films that Captain America has been in, he's always saving the world from literal, except for Civil War, from literal doomsday. Captain America, he saved it from Red Skull, who's trying to nuke the place. Winter Soldier is saving it from Hydra, who's going to kill multiple people, including Tony Stark and Stephen Strange.
Yep, thank you.
In Civil War, Okay, that's the one that I count out.
Yes.
In Avengers and in all the Avengers films, it's like a life-threatening event.
Mhm.
Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie is only saving himself and Pepper and I guess arc reactor stuff. Iron Man 2, not much saving the world either. Like saving it's in a smaller scale at least. Iron Man 3 is a bigger scale. And of course, in the Avengers film, he's always like the star of the Avengers film, which helps out a lot. But once again, Captain America in the solo film is more of a hero for me.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Quantifying
Jesus.
personal choice.
Yeah. But yeah, this is probably the first time that I also have personal choice over quantifying because I really like Captain America, and it's because like he's willing to stand up for what thing is right. He can do it all day, literally, which is why he make fun of it. But he can do it all day. He's been fighting for 70 plus years over the ice, and he's still willing to do the right thing. And the fact that
he is not Iron Man.
no, but I know he's not Iron Man. He is Captain America, and he's the captain, and he presents America. And the fact that he after it's so cringy. The fact that after 70 years frozen in ice, he could be living the life that he wants, like how Iron Man says, like he could be retiring, but no, he's just fighting the fight. So yeah, that's I think that's how much I would fight for Captain America. And I'm not saying Iron Man is not a good hero. He's my number 2 for a reason. He had a great arc. He done the sacrifice play. But Jacob Lim are just higher for me.
If the role would have changed, like if Captain America would have done the snap and he would have died instead of Tony Stark, I don't think I would cry so much. Yeah.
I'm agreeing on you on the fact of that. I do, however.
All right. So the next time,
on the final dance.
All right, final dance. Dance off in Volume 1.
No. With Steve with Peggy. I love that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I guess we have similar number 1, but it's just the toss up.
Yep. Next time I make a list, I'm gonna see who I'm gonna cry more for. Like, am I gonna cry for Groot? No.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we already revealed our top 10.
Now make a list.
Can I borrow this?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Let me just write it down. So our number 1 and number 2 is literally the same but different orders. And I'm going to give Iron Man number 1 just because of the arc and everything. So and of course here's the reason why that started MCU.
Yep.
And Captain America and Iron Man in this list is very close to me. So Iron Man's number 1. So Captain America is number 2.
I love the part where Iron Man says like, "No, I just pay for everything. He's the boss."
Yeah. What other commonalities we have? We have what number is Black Widow in yours?
10.
I'm gonna write that down first. Black Widow is number 3 and my number 10 in yours. Thor, what number? What's Thor?
Thor 5 and I think 3.
5 and 3. Thor is 4 for me.
Oh,
Is 5 for yours?
Okay.
Wanda?
Wanda 9.
Wanda is 5 and 9. You have the Hulk.
Nope.
You have Gamora. You have Hawkeye.
No.
Panther.
Number 8.
BP is 9 and 8.
Okay.
And Spider-Man is number 3 for you.
3 and 10 for you.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all our commonalities. So based on the comments,
Nada.
I don't have it. That's my honorable mention. So Black Widow and Spider-Man. So which one is gonna go first? Because they're both 3 and 10.
3 and 10.
I'm standing because like actually no, Thor should be number 3 because it's their commonalities 4 and 5 is higher than 3 and 10. I feel like, right?
Yeah. 4 and 5.
So Thor is number 3.
If you average it, it's like 4.5.
Yeah.
That's like 6.5. So.
Okay, so I feel like the next one should be the Spider-Man or Black Widow. And I'm standing firm. Black Widow should be higher up because of my argument.
I agree. Black Widow should be higher up.
So okay, so you're giving in for Black Widow and Spider-Man will be number 5 then?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Black Widow. That's easy.
Yeah, because Black Widow has like much more heroic act. I agree. If you ask me between heroes, which one is the better heroes? I think.
And Black Widow is very likable too.
Spider-Man is likable too.
Spider-Man is likable too. It's more relatable than Black Widow. That's for sure.
Oh, that's for sure. Nobody got the assassin training.
Yeah.
And
thing cut out.
I'm really looking forward for the Black Widow film because like I don't know what time it's gonna take place.
Budapest?
Like time period. I doubt Budapest because Budapest they're gonna have Hawkeye. Like I don't know what time period that's gonna be taking place. I don't know if it's going to be prequel. I don't think it's going to be after Endgame unless they somehow bring her back, which I hope, I hope not.
I don't think it's after.
Because like people have been saying like, oh, Captain America returning Soul Stone. That's when Black Widow come back to life, right? I'm like, I hope not.
No, I think it's Captain America returns the Soul Stone. Red Skull will be like, Steve, son of, wait a minute. I know you.
Son of Sarah. I think that's his mom's name.
So,
Slow down. Yeah.
sure.
What's it called? Where was it? Yeah, Black Widow, the film. You know what? Some people have been saying that Black Widow's film will be taking place between the 5 years, and that should be interesting because we have not explored that part of the timeline yet.
We didn't explore anything. But
Exactly. So that will be very interesting.
That will be very interesting.
Because we don't know what she's been doing this whole time.
I want to know how many people are Clint Barton. Like how many gang has he gone after?
Oh yeah, he's done a lot.
He's done a lot.
And talking about Barton, he's not in this list. Okay, so Wanda and Panther. Wanda is 5 and 9. Panther is 9 and 8. So I feel like.
So we got this done, this done, this done. And this is 8.5. This is.
Are you doing math?
Yeah.
Let's just do like logic. Wanda, because there's a 5 in there, which is higher than 8 anyway, and this 9 is just 5.
So yeah, this 7 is 8.5, so this higher.
Yeah, you don't have to do math to do that. Wanda Maximoff. You know, it's funny they never call her Scarlet Witch in the MCU. Did you realize that?
We just call her that.
Yeah, I mean it's a comic character, and they never even called Carol Captain Marvel in the MCU until the latest Spider-Man trailer. That is the first time they called her Captain Marvel.
You're like Captain Marvel. Oh, this robe.
Yeah, that is the first time they call Captain Marvel by the name. They always call Carol or Danvers.
That's interesting.
Okay, so now the bottom 3 is no longer the commonality. So let's see. What's your highest one that's not already mentioned?
Doctor Strange,
which is number
4.
Okay, my highest one that is not in here is Hulk, which is number 6. So Doctor Strange should be there, which I respect because I almost have him on my list too.
Right.
And he did save the end game, save the whole universe from half of them being gone, which is a big part of it. So number 9, what's your next one? Your next highest?
Next highest? I mean my next highest.
That's not commonality.
Bucky.
At number 6. Okay, I have Hulk at number 6. Can I get Hulk here then?
Yeah, I think Hulk is more of a hero. Bucky is more like choice preference.
Hulk / Banner. I'm gonna put Banner there.
Hulk. Stairs.
And okay, so the rest that
stairs.
The rest that I have 2 more that's not in here, and that is Gamora and Hawkeye, and you have Bucky, Loki. You have only Bucky and Loki.
Yeah,
so it's either Gamora, Hawkeye. Okay, so I think it's either. What's your highest, Loki or Bucky?
It's Bucky.
Okay, so it should be either Bucky or Gamora. I feel like.
If you're asking me to choose those 2, I'm choosing Gamora first.
Oh really? You're giving up Bucky for Gamora? You're giving up Bucky for Gamora? That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing is, I like Bucky, but if you ask me to choose between those 2, one has done so many heroic things. One,
yeah.
I have no idea if he just shoot some of the creature with rockets.
He's just following orders most of the time too. He's following Cap. He's following Hydra. He's following Cap. He's never done stuff on his own.
But Cap was following him at first.
Gamora have her own agenda.
Cap was following him at first.
Sort of, yeah. So Gamora then at number 10.
Yep.
I'm just sad Hawkeye's not in the list. I'm sorry, Hawkeye. You lost your hair. You lost your family. You're not in the list. That's kind of sad.
When Thanos snapped.
That's kind of sad that the founding member is not there. But makes sense.
Thanos snapped. Hawkeye hair was like he was like, oh, where did this
go? That's not true because we started the film, but yeah. Yeah, that's sort of sad that the founding member is not there. I hope people don't hate us for this. But
founding member 1, 2, 3, 4.
And so Hawkeye is not there, but it's a testament. Hawkeye is very low on my list. It's number 8, and it wasn't even close to yours.
It's not made a lot of impact. No, Hawkeye was close. Hawkeye was 11, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. He haven't made a lot of impression. Like my favorite scene from Hawkeye is literally
The Hawkeye Wonder.
Hawkeye Wanda scene. That's my favorite scene. So okay, and also the very last scene when he's like, "I hope there is a way I could let her know," and Wanda is like, "Oh, she knows. They both knows."
And I'm like,
Okay, so all right, so I'm going to do the drum roll, and I'm going to say the numbers, and then as soon as I say the numbers, you say the character. You say the character.
right.
All right then. So the top 10 Councilmen MCU Heroes, yeah. At number 10,
Gamora.
at number 9,
Hulk. Banner. Hulk out.
and he did the dab also. At number 8,
Doctor Strange. Sorcerer Supreme.
at number 7,
Black Panther.
Wakanda Forever.
I thought you were gonna say Eva.
I think Ibambe means attack, right? In
I am.
that language, I cannot say the language name. It's like
Lasa.
stop, something like that. I
I
cannot
have
say.
no idea how to say that.
What number are we? 6.
6.
And number 6.
Wanda Maximoff, the weird one.
That is true. Going
Fast
into
and Sesame.
going to the top 5 at number 5 is
Is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Peter Parker.
You can be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man without a neighborhood.
Doesn't make any sense, but okay.
Yeah, but okay.
At number 4, surprising people. Wait, no, that's never mind.
At number
It's not really
4
surprising, but yeah.
is Black Widow. I got no puns in this one. I got nothing.
See you in a minute. At number 3,
The God of Thunder, Prince of Asgard, Thor.
with cheese whiz running through his veins. At,
Oh,
at
yeah.
number 2,
America says.
he can do it all day.
I can
Captain
do it.
America. And the number 1 Councilman MCU Heroes is
Iron Man.
I am Iron Man. Boom. So
You're
that
not
is
in sync.
you are not in sync. That is horrible.
That's
So
horrible.
that is the top 10 MCU heroes according to the Councilman, me and Kenneth. Once again, to recap: Gamora, Hulk, Banner, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Wanda Maximoff, Spider-Man, Black Widow, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. Tell us in the comment section below, or tell us your review. What is your top 10, and tell us if you agree or not. Before we go, do you have like honorable mention that almost make it to the list?
Hawkeye. Almost made it to the list.
Anyone else?
Nebula.
Nebula?
Yeah, Nebula almost made it to the list. Hawkeye almost.
Did you? I want to. Nebula almost close. I wonder. Did you ever consider Nick Fury? I was considering him, but I was like, he didn't. I don't feel like he did a lot of stuff.
He was out cold. He was
Like he's involved with a lot of stuff.
he's
but
involved,
but he didn't do much.
he's more of like he sits in the corner in the shadow, and when he's about to die, I need your help.
He's like the showrunner. He's controlling stuff, but he doesn't really do much.
He doesn't really do much, so he's not even close on my list.
Yeah. Yeah, in my initial Spider-Man was much higher up, but yeah.
And
Oh,
so,
and one more that I almost had my list,
Oh.
and I'm so sad it wasn't.
What?
Ant-Man.
I was about to say that. Like,
Yeah, I love Ant-Man. Ant-Man is
I love
probably
Ant-Man.
my personally one of my favorite characters, and he almost made it. But once I think, if I go back to my logic, none of his events are world-threatening except for Endgame, and he is the huge part of Endgame. Why could Endgame happen?
Mhm.
But in
No, actually, the red.
the what?
The red.
No, I mean like his mindset. He's the one that made Endgame happen because there's time travel film. So that's a huge part of it. And like in the first Ant-Man film, he is saving in a small scale. Second Ant-Man film, it wasn't even. It's very personal film, honestly. He's just saving Janet and saving Ghost. So it wasn't that much of a big scale, even though it's personal. I'm not saying that if a small scale is not a big heroic work. Heroic work can be in any scale and sizes, no pun intended. But yeah, Ant-Man. I was sad to put Ant-Man out because Ant-Man
What is the heroes that almost got in your list that would surprise me?
What do you mean? Ant-Man probably.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, because in my initial list I had Ant-Man up there, but then I got to change it.
Right. So
And yeah, I don't know. Were you surprised I have Gamora?
no. So here in my initial, so this character wasn't in my initial list,
Okay.
but he was kind of like up there, like 15 maybe. You would be surprised. Let's Yondu.
Yeah, Yondu was great. I like Yondu a lot, but
Yeah, that's the thing. But
once again, he's only been in 2 films.
yeah, and he's a villain in the. I'm not.
His like he has his own agenda in the first film.
Yeah, he got his own agenda.
He just want to work.
I mean, he tried. He saved Quill from his father.
That's true in the second one, and he
Yeah, but
sacrificed
before that, he sent a lot of Ego's
Yeah.
children to their demise.
Also, I wonder if people who are familiar with my personality and my taste, I wonder if you guys are surprised that I don't even have Carol even close to this list.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised.
Like I don't think she's in my top 15 at this point. Okay, in terms of hero, no. In terms of favorite character, I don't think so either. I think my list in terms of my favorite character would be pretty much the same top 10, maybe Ant-Man in there, but just rearranged differently. So yeah, Carol wouldn't be there too. Which surprises me. It surprises myself. I'm not kidding. I'm like, shit, I guess I like more stuff more than Carol. But yeah, I'm looking forward for more Carol Danvers though.
If we could have top 10 MCU animals.
Well, obviously number 1 is Anthony from Ant-Man, and then Antonio Banderas from Ant-Man, and then Ulysses S. Grant from Ant-Man as well. I guess we can count Red Wing, which is Falcon's pet, as an animal. Maybe is a robotic animal. Rocket is an animal.
I guess.
It's a rabbit, right? So,
I mean, Asgard thought it was rabbit.
yeah.
Falcon, where's Falcon?
Goose will be there. Goose will be there. There's
So-
not much competition for animals.
There is.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
I've mentioned like 5 bloody ants. That doesn't help.
The red.
No, the red- the red-
MCU.
The rat doesn't count. But yeah, guys, that has been the top 10 Councilmen MCU
Alright.
Heroes. Once again, tell us in the reviews or in the comment section below what you guys think of our list, and tell us what your personal lists are. If you agree, if you disagree, don't be mean to each other. Just be like criticize, but don't be like, oh, your list is stupid because you don't have this character. Blah blah
Don't
blah.
be mean to me.
Yeah, don't be mean to him. I respect his choices. That's a bold choice, having Loki and Winter Soldier and even Nebula. I respect that. I respect his point of view for those kind of stuff too. So I hope you guys are able to do that as well. And once again, if you like this podcast, subscribe to it, share it with your friends, and leave a review and a rating. It will really help out the Councilmen in the algorithm of Apple or whatever. But yeah, we are available in all format, either on video on YouTube or in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, Podbean, all those kind of stuff. And I'm gonna tease what's going up for the week after this week, because this is the 3rd week from Endgame.
Is it though?
Well,
No,
by the time this video is released, because this is a pre-tape, obviously.
All right.
And yeah, the end of MCU week, I'm going to tease. It's related with passing of the torch. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the tease. That's the teaser. So stick around and subscribe if you want to know and find out. We'll be back. The whole crew will be hopefully back. The one that's
Will I be back? That's the
Well-
biggest question.
we'll see. We'll see if you're available. I know you're gonna be not around during the time when we're recording, but we'll see. I'll ask the crew as well. And I can guarantee you, Kelvin will be there. I can guarantee you, Ariq most likely will be there. Teguh is the least often in the group, so I cannot guarantee that, but hopefully he's there because we always love
Can
his
you
presence.
guarantee me to be there?
You're probably the least likely to be guaranteed that you're there, but you'll be back. I love having you as a ghost and as a ghost.
It's a what? It's a ghost.
I love having
Bye.
I love having you as a panelist and as a fellow host. So hopefully you will return for future episodes. But yeah, once again, guys, thank you. Kenneth, where can they find you online on social media if you want to plug anything? It's your chance.
Got an Instagram at Kenneth_Luciano. He'll put it down in the description. I don't think he can put it in the podcast.
I can, but I won't.
All right.
But
fair enough.
it's Kenneth_Luciano.
All right, fair enough.
And yeah, as for me, you can follow me on, sorry for notification, let me just mute that, actually, very unprofessional of me. On Twitter and Instagram at Wiradharma, I talk lots of film stuff. Game of Thrones, going up, I talk Game of Thrones every Sunday.
I'm the one kind of people that haven't watched Game of Thrones.
I mean, there are lots of people who haven't watched Game of Thrones, so that's not, it's fair.
I've been peer-pressured by a lot of people, including you. Including
out of the councilmen, only me and Ariq watch it. Kelvin and Teguh doesn't watch it. Kelvin insists he watched it only for the sex scenes, which I judge him for that because there's not even that much sex scenes in Game of Thrones, honestly.
You know, there's a compilation of this.
I know, but it's like people say that, but after seeing Game of Thrones, there's not that much. So,
all right.
But once again, Twitter, Instagram, Wiradharma, follow me there. I post lots of stuff on Twitter most of the time. And on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and like and share. That helps out a lot. And comment once again. If you're not watching on YouTube, you can check out my YouTube channel at Jaw Movies. I do movie reviews, trailer reaction, Schmodown reactions, Schmodown content, and I upload the podcast, of course, here and other stuff too. Maybe I do news and stuff. And I cannot tell you what kind of movie review I'm gonna. Maybe Detective Pikachu. I don't know if it's out yet at this point. I think my review should not be out yet. Not sure. And trailers I cannot guarantee you because once again this is pre-taped whatsoever. But check it out. Check me out on YouTube at Jaw Movies. And once again, subscribe to the podcast channel. It helps out a lot. And share with your friends. And once again, thank you guys for listening and just stick around until the very end. And yeah, the council has spoken.